Today we will study about the spleen, right? You know that spleen is the largest lymphatic organ. Who can say it is primary or secondary organ? Primary lymphatic organ or secondary lymphatic organ?
The bone marrow. Then which one, sir?
Yes, bone marrow.
Sir, thymus, sir.
Yes, thymus. Where you will find the thymus?
Sir, sternum के नीचे, sir.
Right. Okay. So uh, today we'll see the spleen, that is the secondary lymphatic organ, right? So this secondary lymphatic organ that is very much important in your immunity, right? So to build up the immunity and to trap the pathogens that will enter into your body, okay, that will be engulfed or that can be digested or that can be, spleen is the graveyard of RBC also, right? So here you'll see some if any pathogen or virus that will enter into the body uh, and to the bloodstream, then that can be trapped by this spleen. Okay, so here we'll see the structures of the spleen, because the function that will cover in your physiology section, but a little bit we'll study the function here also, right? So if we'll say the spleen, so this spleen actually it is the uh, lymphatic organ that is present just below to the diaphragm and above to the fundus of your stomach, right? So if we'll draw the diaphragm, right, and at this point you'll find there is the uh, opening of your esophageal hiatus, and the esophagus is there, it is coming out, right? And at this point you'll find the fundus part of the stomach, right? And at this point you'll find there is the presence of your spleen, okay, presence of your spleen, right? So the spleen, it is just I'm making dotted because it is present behind the stomach, right, in this way. uh, so it is above to the fundus but behind, and below to the diaphragm, right? This is your diaphragm. So above it is diaphragm, and below you'll find the fundus of the stomach, okay. In between that, here you will find this is your uh, spleen, okay, spleen. So this spleen, though it is a lymphatic organ, so it has the blood supply also, it has the nerve supply, but remember it doesn't have any, though it is a lymphatic organ, okay, it doesn't have the lymphatic channels, okay, it doesn't have the lymphatic channels, okay, that is not present here in your spleen, okay. Every organ it has the lymphatic channel, but spleen it doesn't have any lymphatic channels, right? Only you will find the artery and the vein, okay. What is that artery? That is the splenic artery and vein, okay. You will find, no doubt you will find the innervation, means your nerve supply, but you will not find the lymphatic channels, right? And it is present where? At the left hypochondrium region, right? Okay, left hypochondrium region between the fundus of the stomach and the diaphragm. That at this point you can see this is your what? Okay, this whole is your spleen, okay, whole part is your spleen, right? So this spleen that is present here, you can see this is what, nearer to the, these are what, these are the costocartilage, means mainly here you will find the ribs, okay, here you will find the ribs. So these ribs are posteriorly related to the spleen. Okay, ribs are posterior relation. Okay, and you'll find the diagram above. Okay, posteriorly you'll find the ribs. Okay, and anteriorly you'll find the viscera. Okay, what are that viscera? That may be the pancreas, that may be the kidney. Okay, that may be the stomach. Okay, that may be the splenic flexor. Who can say what is splenic flexor? Splenic flexor.
Curvature.
Yes, of transverse colon, right? And he also you will find some ligaments relation over here, right? Some ligaments. So these are the anterior relation, right? So here what we'll see first the size, shape and color of the spleen, right? As you know that here you can see it is a wedge shaped organ, right? Okay, so here you can see, okay, this is what it is a spleen. Okay, you can see here that this is your visceral view, okay, and this is your diaphragmatic view. Okay, two views you will find over here. So here you can see this spleen, that is actually it is looking like a wedge shaped, right? Wedge shaped organ, and the color is purple in color, right? And the size and the length and the breadth, okay, that will be vary from person to person. Still we have the general height, right? So this is your height of the spleen. Okay, so the height of the spleen, or you can say the length, right? So this is the length of the spleen. So this length of the spleen will be near about 5 inches. Okay, 5 inches in length. Okay, and if you'll see the what is this, the breadth, right? So here you can see this is the breadth. Okay, so the breadth of the spleen, okay, that will be 3 inches. 3 inches. Okay, and if you will see the thickness, okay, the thickness of the spleen, that will be near about 1 inches. 1 inch, right? 1 inch. Okay, so thickness is 1 inch, length it is 5 inch, and the breadth will be 3 inches. Okay, then if you see the weight of this normal weight, okay, of the spleen, that will be near about 7 ounce. Okay, 7 ounce. Okay, or the ounce can be written as like this. Okay, 7 ounce. So here if you'll see another thing, that uh, this spleen, it is the relation to the ribs is from 9 to 9th rib to 11th rib. Okay, 9th rib to 11th rib. Okay, that means this spleen, that if you'll see here, okay, at this point you'll find the 9th rib. Okay, and at this point you'll find the 10th rib, and at this point you'll find the, what is that, 11th rib. Okay, posteriorly, so it is the 9th rib you'll find here, the 10th rib relation, and here is the 11th rib relation. Okay, that means the relation of the spleen is from 9 to 11, right? Okay, Now here we got a magic thing, right? What is that? Now, the spleen is the uh, organ of odds. Okay, so there is the Haris. Okay, so we have the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Right. So actually it summarizes the splenic statistics. Splenic statistics. Okay. What is that? It measures 1 inch in thickness, right? 3 inches breadth. Okay. 5 inches length. Yes. 7 ounce, right? Yes. Yes. And that lies deep to 9 ninth to 11th reefs. Okay, this is the thing you have to remember. Clear? Now see here. Here you can see this is it has two surface, right? So here you can see one thing that this surface is the visceral surface. Okay, this is known as your visceral surface, and this surface is known as your diaphragmatic surface. Okay, so that means what? This diaphragmatic surface that is related to ninth to 11th ribs and diaphragm. Now, so here you can see the visceral surface, right? So this visceral surface, you will find the numerous number of viscera that is related to this surface. Okay, that means what we will find here. Just I am making another color. Uh, Here you will find this is one surface. Okay, one depression, right? Here you will find the depression, right? So this depression part, okay, this is your gastric surface. That means what you will find? Here you will find the fundus of the stomach. Yes, kidney and suprarenal gland. Okay, suprarenal gland. Okay, here. Then here you will find the splenic flexor. Okay, splenic flexor, or you can say it is relation to the large intestine. Okay, so here the at the visceral surface you will find there is the fundus part of the stomach, the tail of the pancreas, the large intestine, mainly the splenic flexor. Okay, and the left kidney and your suprarenal gland that is related to the spleen. Means a depression that will be that will lodge the viscera, right? Now among all this, here you will find the area, the middle area, that is known as your hilum. Okay, so what is hilum? Hilum means any area where the structures are going inside the viscera and coming outside the viscera. Okay, so this green area where I have marked over here, that is the hilum of the spleen. Okay, And in this hilum, what you'll find? You'll find the splenic artery that is running in this way, okay, and they are going here, and they make the branches over here, right? Like that, the venous drainage will be from here, and they will also come out, okay, through the splenic vein. So the splenic artery is going in, and the splenic vein that is coming out, okay. So these two structures, that is actually the structures of your hilum, okay. Now we'll see detail about this spleen. Okay. Uh, as we know that there is the diaphragmatic surface. So this diaphragmatic surface that you can see here, this is actually smooth in nature. Okay, and that is related to your diaphragm and the, what is that, your ninth to uh, 11th ribs, and it is actually convex in nature. No, it is convex and directed upward. Okay, it is convex and directed upward, right? Now if you'll see here the visceral relation, so this visceral relation, it is concave, okay. The diaphragmatic relation, it is convex, whereas the visceral relation, it is concave and irregular, right? And it presents four impressions over here, okay. So these four impressions, as I told you, one is gastric impression, okay, that you can see over here. And this impression that actually produced by the fundus part of the stomach, and it is the largest impression, and that lies between the superior and intermediate border, right? Superior and intermediate border, right? So this at this point you will find the hilum, okay, hilum of the spleen, right? So this hilum of the spleen, that is located at the uh, lower part of this gastric impression, right? Then you'll find this renal impression. So this renal impression, it is produced by your, which one, your left kidney, okay. And uh, it lies just below and behind to this gastric impression, okay, and between the intermediate line and your inferior border, okay. This is your intermediate line, and this is your inferior border, right? And this spleen, it has two ends, okay. One is anterior end, which is actually projects anteriorly, and another is the posterior end. So this posterior end, it is actually posterior and superior, okay. But the anterior one, it is anterior but inferior, okay. Antero inferiorly, it presents antero inferiorly, but it presents postero superiorly, right? Okay, so if we will see the position, exact position of the spleen, okay, then what we have to do, we have to draw the, okay, see here, if this is your spleen, okay, that is present over here. So if we will draw the ninth, 10th and 11th ribs, okay, that you can see over here, the ninth ribs that will pass in this way, okay, then it will go down, okay, then it will appear over here, okay. This is what, your ninth ribs, okay. Then just below to that, here you will find the 10th rib, okay. So here you will find the 10th rib, and at this point you will find the 11th ribs, okay. So here you will find the 11th ribs in this way, right? So ninth, 10th and 11th, that is the, what is that, diaphragmatic relation, okay. And the visceral relation, that is already I have told you over here. So if we will draw the same thing over here, then what we'll see, here is your 10th ribs, okay. And here you'll find the ninth ribs, and here you will find the 11th ribs. Okay, that means what you'll find over here. See, this is what? This is the posterior abdominal wall. Okay, this is anteriorly you are seeing. Okay, this one is anterior, and this one is the posterior view. That means what you'll find here if you'll draw this one, right? So this is your one vertebra, ninth vertebra. Here is your 10th vertebra, and here is your, what is that, 11th vertebra. Okay, so from this ninth vertebra, this is the ribs that is coming in this way. Okay, and that is just crossing to the spleen. Okay, at this point, and this is the 10th. So you are seeing from posterior side. Okay, from the back side. Okay, and here you will see this is the 10th ribs. Okay, that is just running in this way. Okay, and this is your 11th ribs. Okay, the 11th ribs. So, and this is your 11th vertebra. Okay, in this way you will find there is a present. That means what? If you will approach the spleen from posteriorly, okay, you will reach at this point, right? If you will approach the spleen through from the anterior abdominal wall, you will find like this. Okay, if you will approach the spleen from posterior abdominal wall, okay, from back to front, then you will find the ribs position and the spleen position there like this, right? So if you will see from the what is that, your lateral side, okay, how it looks like from the lateral side. So we'll just clear this one, and we'll go to a part, right? See, what we'll do here, we'll have the, so we are seeing uh, the longitudinal section. Okay, we'll see the longitudinal section through the mid axillary line. Okay, then what we'll find here, we'll find the, what is that, this one is your lungs. Okay, if you'll see the, here you'll find the lungs. Okay, so surrounding to the lungs, what you'll find, there is the presence of your pleura. Okay, presence of your pleura, right? So we have drawn the pleura over here, right? So this is the pleura. Then we will have the ribs, right? So here is one ribs, here is another ribs, here is another ribs. Okay, and here is another ribs, right? Now uh, in between these ribs, what you find, there is the muscles. What muscles? Intercostal muscles. Okay, these are the intercostal muscles. Here what we will see, at this point you will find the diaphragm. Okay, after the pleura, what is there? There is the diaphragm. The diaphragm is coming like this. Okay, so this is the diaphragm. Okay, so after this diaphragm, what another thing will find, there is the presence of your peritoneum. Okay, here will find the peritoneum, right? Okay, so after this peritoneum, though the peritoneum, it is just covering to the spleen from all the way, right? That's why here you will find there is the uh, spleen that is present over here. Okay, this is your spleen. Okay, at this point you will find the spleen, and this spleen, it is surrounded by the whole over the peritoneum, right? Then after that, what you find, you'll find the transverse colon over here. Okay, then the splenic flexor. Okay, like this. Okay, so here you'll find this one is your what, your transverse colon, the splenic flexor. Okay, and the descending colon, right? So this is the view. Which view? Longitudinal view. Okay, that we'll see. So see, now we'll just label it so that it will be clear to you. See here, what you'll find, there is the presence of your lungs. Okay, and the lungs is, it is covered by, what is that? This is your pleura. Okay, and what is these things? These are the ribs. What is these things? These things are the intercostal muscles. Okay, and uh, see here, this is the diaphragm. This is your diaphragm. Okay, and here below to the diaphragm, you will find the peritoneum. Okay, and here you will find there is the spleen. Okay, and from the peritoneum to the splenic flexor, right, there is a ligament. Okay, so this ligament is known as your phrenicocholic ligament. Okay, so here you can observe one thing. This is the ribs, right? So in between the ribs, so see here, this is the ribs. Here you will find the ribs. Here is the ribs. Okay, in between the ribs you will find this intercostal muscles, right? That means what? This is the gap between, okay, this area, this area, this area is the gap between the diaphragm and the ribs. Okay, so here it produces a recess, right? Here you can see this produces a recess over here, right? So actually this recess, that is makes the recess of the pleura. Okay, because this is the pleura, right? So this pleura that extends downward up to this recess. This recess means this is the angle, no, that angle produced by here the diaphragm and here the ribs and the intercostal muscles. So this whole part is a recess, right? So this recess is your phrenic recess. Okay, this is your phrenic recess. So at this phrenic recess, what happens? You know that if this pleural effusion will be there, then the pleural fluid that will be accumulated over here at the phrenic recess. Okay, or you can say it as a costodiaphragmatic recess. Diaphragmatic recess. Okay, so after this costodiaphragmatic recess, you know this is the diaphragm, right? This is the diaphragm. Below to the diaphragm, you will find this one is your peritoneum. So this peritoneum, it is adhesive to this diaphragm at the above. Okay, and below it is covering to this spleen, right? And on that way, it gives a attachment to the ligament, a attachment of ligament to the flexor. Which flexor? Splenic flexor. Okay, so this ligament will be known as your phrenicocholic ligament. Okay, so it is the which view? It is the longitudinal view section through the mid axillary line. If you will cut the our body in the mid axillary line, then you will find this type of structure and their relations, right? So we have seen the relation of your visceral relation, what are the viscera are present there, and we have seen the diaphragmatic surface of the spleen, and how the ribs are related to the spleen. Okay, then also we have seen here the longitudinal section through the mid axillary line. Okay, if you will cut the spleen and we will see the relations, you can mark out all these structures are related to it, right? So after that we will see the ligament relation. Okay, so you know that this ligament relation, that means what? You will find that so this ligament means what? This is the peritoneal folds, right? So if you will draw same here, the spleen over here. Okay, so this is your spleen. Okay, the spleen, and at this point you will find suppose there is the presence of your tail of the pancreas over here. Okay, so this is the tail of pancreas, so this is the spleen, this is the tail of pancreas. Okay, and suppose here at this point you will find the kidney. Okay, kidney at this point. Right now at this point you will find, suppose there is the stomach. Okay, presence of your stomach. Okay, now we'll see the relation. Okay, how the peritoneum, that is surrounding to this spleen, right? So you know that the peritoneal fold from the posterior abdominal wall, it is just coming anterior to the kidney, right? And from that kidney it is reflecting back towards the spleen, right? Then it covers to the whole over the spleen over here like this. Okay, then it is just going towards the hilum of the kidney, and from this hilum of the kidney it is reflecting back towards the stomach, right? Like that, another fold of peritoneum that is covering to anterior side of the pancreas, because this pancreas is what? It is the retroperitoneal. So the peritoneum will cover anterior to the pancreas only. But here you can see at this point, this at the tail of the pancreas. Now this pancreas, it is covered posteriorly and anteriorly both, right? So that's why this tail of the pancreas, it will be your what is that? Intraperitoneal part, right? Then from this tail of the pancreas, it is just going towards the spleen, and then from the spleen, this peritoneum, it is reflect back towards the stomach and covering to the stomach here like this, right? Now at this point you can see that we have made here the two ligaments, right? The folds of peritoneum. Here you will find there is a double layer of fold of peritoneum, right? Inside that the pancreas remains over here, right? So uh, this ligament here, it makes your, what is that? Lino-renal ligament. Okay, this one will be your lino-renal ligament. Okay, and this one will find over here, that will be your what? Your which ligament? Gastrosplenic ligament. Okay, here we will find two ligaments, that is the folds of peritoneum, double layer of the fold of peritoneum. Here is one ligament, that is your lino-renal ligament, or you can say splenorenal. Okay, and here you will find another ligament, that is your gastrosplenic ligament. Okay, so these two ligaments you will find. This ligament that is connecting to from the kidney, this is what? Your kidney. Okay, this is your kidney. Okay, and this is your spleen, right? So in between these two you will find this ligament, this ligament. Okay, so this ligament is known as your lino-renal. Lino-renal ligament. Okay, and this ligament you will find, that is the gastrosplenic ligament. Okay, so lino-renal ligament and the gastrosplenic ligament, right? So here we will find that along with the pancreas you will find another structure that is just coming above to the uh, pancreas. What is that structure over here? This structure is going towards the, what is this? This is your splenic artery. Okay, so the splenic artery, along with that you will find the some arteries from this splenic artery that is just coming towards the stomach. Okay, in this way. Okay, what is this artery? This is the short gastric artery. This is your short gastric artery. Okay, and here you will find the splenic artery. Okay, so here the peritoneal relation we got over here, that at the peritoneal relation the spleen is completely enclosed in the peritoneum except at the hilum region, right, from where the two peritoneal folds extend, right, the lino-renal ligament and the gastrosplenic ligament. Okay, so that extends from the spleen towards the stomach and from the spleen towards the kidney. Okay, so means towards the left kidney. So these extensions are known as your gastrosplenic and lino-renal ligament, right. So if you will see the gastrosplenic ligament here, okay, so this ligament extends from the hilum of the spleen to the upper 1/3 part of the greater curvature of the stomach. So it contains the short gastric artery, okay, or you can say vessels. Okay, short gastric vessels. Like that, here you will find the lino-renal ligament. Okay, this is your lino-renal ligament. This extends from the hilum of the kidney towards the hilum of the spleen. Okay, towards the kidney. Okay, you can say the anterior surface of the left kidney. Okay, because the posterior surface of the kidney, that is actually what is that? That is adhesive to the posterior abdominal wall, right? Okay, so here you can see this is the posterior part posterior part of the kidney, and this is the anterior part of the kidney. Only the anterior part of the kidney, it is covered by peritoneum. Okay, so that's why the folds of peritoneum extends from the spleen, okay, towards the anterior surface of your left kidney, and here it contains the tail of the pancreas that you can observe over here. Okay, along with that it also carries the or contains the splenic artery and the veins. Okay, and here you will find some lymph nodes over here, and these lymph nodes are known as your pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes. Pancreatico-splenic lymph nodes. Okay, so this is the peritoneal relation, right. So we have finished the relation, that is the peritoneal relation. Here you can see, right, and we have finished the visceral relation, that at the earlier stage we have seen